Once again, the secular communist cabal is at work, trying to appropriate, distort and secularize Hindu festivals. This time their target is Kerala's Onam, a festival celebrated by Hindus as Bhagwan Vaman Jayanti, deeply rooted in our scriptures, history and culture. From the Bhagavata Purana to Sangam literature, from Chera copper plates to colonial records, there is undeniable evidence that Onam is a Hindu festival. Yet the cabal wants to strip it of its dharmic essence, branding it merely as a secular harvest festival. But today, we will reclaim the truth of Onam, the story of Mahabali, Vamana and Sanatan Dharma. Onam is being celebrated across Kerala today with grandeur, devotion and joy. But as the celebrations unfold, the familiar propaganda is once again being pushed. The so-called secular cabal is presenting Onam as a festival for all, deliberately erasing its Hindu roots. But the reality is that Onam is not a mere harvest festival. It is the divine Leela of Bhagwan Vishnu, who took the Vamana avatar to humble the mighty king Mahabali. It is Bhagwan Vaman Jayanti, a day rooted in Hindu Itihasa and Puranas, and not some vague cultural carnival as the secular lobby wants us to believe. The story begins after the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean, when nectar of immortality was obtained. The Asuras, led by Mahabali, tried to seize it by trickery. To restore balance, Bhagwan Vishnu assumed the form of Mogini and retrieved the nectar for the Devas. This led to a great war between the Devas and the Asuras, where Mahabali emerged as a powerful leader. It is important to note that, contrary to the lies spread by the secularists, Mahabali was a Brahmin king by virtue of being the descendant of Rishi Kashyap. His grandfather was none other than Bhakt Prahlad, the immortal devotee of Vishnu from the Narasimha avatar. Mahabali, through penance and yajna, attained divine powers and soon displaced Indra and the Devas from heaven. Alarmed at their defeat, Aditi, the mother of the Devas, prayed to Bhagwan Vishnu for help. Answering her prayers, Vishnu promised to restore the Devas' kingdom, but also assured that he would not kill Mahabali, for he had once given his word to Prahlad that none of his lineage would be slain by him. Thus Vishnu incarnated as Vamana, a daft brahmachari, the son of Aditi and Rishi Kashyap, born in the sacred month of Bhadrapad. When Vamana arrived at Mahabali's Ashwamedha Yajna, the king welcomed him with respect and generosity. Vamana asked only for 3 paces of land, measured by his small feet. Despite warnings from his guru Shukracharya that the boy was none other than Vishnu, Mahabali, bound by his dharmic nature, kept his word. In an instant, Vamana transformed into Trivikrama, his form of spanning the universe. With one step he covered the earth, with the second he claimed the heavens. With no space left for the third, Mahabali humbly offered his own head. Vishnu placed his foot upon it, sending Mahabali to Sutala, but granting him the boon of visiting his subjects once every year. It is the annual return of Mahabali that is celebrated as Onam festival in Kerala today. This story is not folklore. It is part of Sanatan Dharma's eternal history. The Bhagavata Purana, Vamana Purana and even Sangam literature glorify this tale. Historical accounts further confirms Onam's dharmic roots. A 9th century copper plate of Chera king Sthanu Ravi records Annadana to mark Onam. Colonial officials like Francis Day noted that Vishnu visits earth during this time to bless his devotees along with Mahabali. Even the Malabar manual written by Scottish civil servant describes Onam as a Hindu festival honoring Vishnu. And yet, today the same forces that have long attempted to erase our dharmic past are now working overtime to secularize Onam. Just as the Dravidian lobby tries to strip Pongal of its Hindu roots and brand it merely as a Tamil festival, the Abrahamic leftist cabal projects Onam as a secular harvest festival, deliberately omitting the story of Vamana and Vishnu. This narrative theft is not innocent. It is a calculated attempt to alienate Hindus from their Itikasa, to disconnect us from our scriptures and to present our timeless festivals as rootless cultural spectacles. But dharmic memory is stronger than propaganda. The people of Kerala still welcome King Mahabali with pookolams at their doors, prepare Ona Sadaya feasts on banana leaves and celebrate Vallamkalli boat races and Pulikalli tiger dances, all in memory of their beloved king blessed by Vishnu. Each ritual, each celebration is an echo of Sanatan Dharma's glory, not a secular invention. It is also worth noting that Hindu tradition places the reign of Mahabali in 11,000 BC, long before the rise of any Abrahamic religion. Onam demolishes the myth that Hindu Dharma is younger than these cults. It asserts that our dharmic civilization predates them by thousands of years, and yet the cabal seeks to distort this history because a rooted Hindu society stands as the strongest resistance to their designs. The irony is that even the church in Kerala once openly called Onam a Hindu festival. It is only in recent decades, with the unholy alliance of missionaries, communists, and Dravidianists, that attempts have been made to secularize Onam. Their agenda is clear. They lack festivals of their own that resonate with joy and civilizational pride. So they appropriate Hindu festivals, rebrand them, and then feed their distorted narratives to the next generation. But Hindus will not allow this cultural theft anymore. Festivals like Onam are living testimonies of our Sanatan roots. Mahabali's humility, Vishnu's divine Leela, and the golden values of Dharma cannot be erased by propaganda. Instead of allowing them to be secularized, Hindus must reclaim Onam in its true spirit as Vaman Jayanti, as the divine homecoming blessed by Bhagwan Vishnu. And for those who have been misled away from their roots by this propaganda, the doors of Gavapsi remain open. Onam is not a secular harvest festival. It is the eternal story of King Mahabali blessed by Bhagwan Vishnu in his Vamana avatar. From Itikasha to historical records, every references establishes Onam as a Hindu festival. The Abrahamic-Communist, Dravidian, secular cabal can try to distort, but Sanatan Dharma will always reclaim what belongs to it. In 2025, let Onam remind us not only of Mahabali's annual visit, but also of our duty to protect, preserve, and proudly celebrate our dharmic festivals in their true essence.